Hey everyone, it's Saturday. Time for another episode of Beyond Garnet. Let's get creative.
Maybe too intense for some listeners, may be unsuitable for sensitive people, may cause dizziness, may cause drowsiness, may cause excitability. Safety goggles may be required for listening. Take with food, avoid contact with skin, avoid extreme temperatures, and store in a cool, dry place. This is not legal advice, must be present to win. Contents under pressure may contain small parts. Listen at your own risk.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Beyond Garnet. I have a super amazing guest with me today, someone near and dear to my heart, actor, artist, and screenwriter Nancy Pushkar.
Ilana Reed.
We're going to get plenty of songs during this episode. I just know it.
Yeah. Hello, hello, hello.
Thank you so much for making the time. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on. I'm excited.
Yeah. You know how many people are excited for this episode? Oh, I can't wait to hear Nancy's. I can't wait to hear Nancy's.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding.
I'm so glad I didn't have a couple of bourbons or drink a couple bottles of wine or anything before. Maybe that would have been good.
Okay, so let's jump right in.
Okay, fine with me.
Tell me a defining moment as an artist, actor, or screenwriter that made you say, yes, this is what I want to do. What is that defining moment that you recall?
You know, honestly, and you've heard this before, when I saw, for acting that is, when I saw True Grit and Kim Darby, and I'm like, God, I want to be, I didn't say I could do that. I remember as a kid, I was like, I didn't say I could do that. I'm like, I want to do that. I didn't say I could do what she was doing, but I'm like, I want to do that. And I loved it because, you know, I grew up on John Wayne movies with watching, you know, John Wayne movies and stuff with my dad.
Sure.
But, oh my God, she got to ride a horse. She got to shoot a gun. She was a badass kid. Can I swear?
Yes.
Okay. Because I don't want to refrain.
No, you're fine.
She was a badass kid, and I had a whipping ass crush on Glenn Campbell. Brownstone Cowboy. Can I sing?
Yes, you can. You can sing as much as you want.
So anyway, yeah, and I was like, God, that would have been, you know, when I look back at that, you know, I think as a kid, I just was so enthralled with the fact that she got to do that because these were these people that, you know, that I like loved. And then, you know, for me, I think too, and I didn't even realize at that time in terms of defining moments that was a pretty freaking amazing role for a girl.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know?
can you imagine what that experience was like for her on that set? Oh, it's mind-blowing.
Oh, totally mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I was like, God, how, you know, so I think that was it for acting. I think as an artist, I think you know, it all came together when the little fish met the egg, basically. You know, I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that was like, you know, thanks Mom and Dad, because, you know, you pulled together and made that happen. And, and because I remember even as a kid, I was just like, I just loved like certain things, like color combinations and stuff. And my brother and I used to get these, they were coloring books, but you used them like watercolors, but you didn't have watercolors. You just got a paintbrush, and the different types of dots in the image created different colors. I can't explain. Like, it was just fun. But anyway, and I would paint. I would like do all these things, and I would paint. I remember taking the paintbrush and moving it really slowly, because then the color would come up. So I think that, I mean, again, I didn't even realize what kind of effect it had on me, but it did. I mean, it impacted my life. And, you know, I also think I'm dyslexic, and I didn't know it as a child. I didn't find out until I was in my 30s that I was dyslexic. The beauty of that is the fact that I never did well in math. So I didn't become like a mathematician. Isn't that hilarious? Could you imagine me being a mathematician? Oh, that 8 looks really pretty next to the 4. But, you know, so I didn't become like a veterinarian, which I thought. So those things in our lives, I mean, I think that had a huge impact. Could you imagine me?
You'd be the quirkiest mathematician
I've ever
met.
Especially with the hair I have today.
So what was Nancy like as a kid?
You know, I was a pretty odd sort of kid in the most delightful way. I was kind of, people sometimes made fun, a lot of times made fun of the way I dressed. As a young kid, I remember, having a thing about red shoes. I liked red shoes.
You still do. You have red cowboy boots.
And cowboy boots. I had cowboy boots even when I was a kid, but I was obsessed with animals. I loved animals. We used to go, my mom and dad and my brother and I used to go to the Winton Woods, to the lake, to Winton Lake and stuff. We'd go and we'd walk all over the woods and stuff like that. And we would pull up in the car, and I don't think my dad even would have the car stop, and I would get out, and these ducks and these geese would see me coming in and be like who's Nancy? Go! And they could never get away from me. And I'd run up and I'd pick them up, and I'm like, I got a duck. My dad was like, okay, don't kill it.
Don't squeeze it so hard.
Yeah, it was like, oh my God. I mean, I loved animals, and
you still do.
I still do. Yeah. Still do. I mean, I'm still trying to convince my husband that we need to get a hamster because Buddy and G would love to have a little hamster friend in that ball running around the condo. But anyway, and I mean, I think I was super creative. I wasn't really good at school. I loved to read. I was a voracious reader. And I had, I'll take, do we have time I can tell you a story?
Yes, we have tons of time.
This is a great little fourth grade story because I didn't like my fourth grade teacher. She had my brother the year before, and she called my brother the little professor. And my brother did look like a professor. And you know my brother now. I mean, he does not look like a professor, but he did when he was in school. He used to wear a little sweater vest, and a turtleneck, and I mean,
he had the pocket protector and
no, he didn't have a he just looked intelligent. And he was really good. But I didn't know as soon as I hit that, having to carry numbers over and stuff, that's when I totally lost it in math. But this fourth grade teacher, she did not like me. I didn't like her, so I didn't really care if she liked me or not. I had a really great support system at home, so that factored into a lot of aspects of my life. My parents were really amazing. So we had these, these cinder blocks that schools are made out of, and then they paint them those really horrific colors that look like someone puked on the wall.
Sure. So
we had to make a race car, and our race car, and we had to put a number on it because it had to do with math, right? I don't even think mine had a number on it. But anyway, it looked the flipping best. It was the best car on the wall, right? So we had, and every time you got an A on your math paper, you got to move your car, A, B, C, D. Okay, 4. You got to move 4 spaces. If you got a B, down the line. D, you got 1. I think my car moved probably 2 spaces, and everybody else was near the finish line. But my God, it looked better than anybody's. And the thing that I remembered about that was, I'm like, mine is on the wall. I would come in every morning. I didn't care if I was at the finish line or not because it just wasn't going to work.
Right.
I would sit at home at night crying over homework, doing math homework with my dad. It's I don't know how he tolerated it, but that car was right there, dead center on the wall. There were no other cars around, and that's what you saw when I'd come in. I'm like, that still looks good.
It's a damn fine looking car.
Yeah. And then my mom and dad got called in to the school. My mom volunteered at the school all the time. My parents were, always doing stuff. So the teachers knew my parents and stuff. But anyway, so my parents got called into the school because we had to read X amount of book pages a week and do a little summary on it. We had a card file. Well, I read book. We went to the library every weekend, every Saturday. And I always had books. I was always reading. I remembered I had just finished reading 101 Dalmatians, which was about 339 pages. Okay? Not quite 400. Didn't quite get there.
Yeah.
And so, so I didn't write about that. I wrote about this antique automobile book that was a picture book. And the teacher got really pissed. And she called me home. This is just the Defiance or whatever. And so she called my mom and dad. They're like, why didn't you do the book report on the 101 Dalmatians? And I said, because I read that for myself. I didn't read it for her. Yeah. And they're like, but you're reading these books for you for the grade. And I said, but she's asking me to read these books and write about them. I'm not reading the books for her. I'm reading them for me.
Right.
Because I was not gonna like pacify that woman at all because I didn't really like her. I thought she reeked. And she wore fur coats.
Oh, that was it right there.
There you go.
That's it.
Right there.
Yeah.
I just didn't. But anyway, so that was kind of my school experience. It got better too. As I had teachers that, like my brother didn't have teachers I didn't have teachers my brother had the year before. It made it easier because he was like always like the little, the president of the 6th grade and all that kind of, and I didn't care about any of that stuff. All I needed was my red shoes or I had a pair of red leather and blue suede shoes, and I was like, that if I had those, I was good to go.
Yeah.
So anyway, so yes, that was kind of funky. School was, I never was a big fan of school, but I loved learning.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Who was someone who inspired you regarding being an actor? I mean, I know with True Grit and all that, but outside of films, who was someone in your life that inspired you to be an artist or an actor or to begin screenwriting?
So many people have. And when we think about that, like, I think about people who kind of were dream stoppers.
Yeah. There's a lot of those.
That'd be a great name for a movie.
Yes, it would.
Dream Stomper.
Yeah. You can't steal that. Nancy came up with it.
Yeah, that's don't. Anyway, so those Dream Stomper people, I think they kind of were incentive. I had a friend that liked spray painting buildings, things like that. And I was hanging out with her one night and she wanted to go spray paint a building. And I remember thinking to myself, this isn't what I do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm like, I don't do this kind of stuff. I honestly remember, I was in high school and I remember thinking, God, I could be home right now drawing.
Right.
And I'm like, I could be home doing whatever. And I think people that I watch have kind of inspired me to want to act. My mom used to sing all the time. She would sing and like dance around and stuff. And then my dad, I used to sit and watch movies with my dad.
Right.
Like Charlie Chan, those Dr. Watson and Sherlock Holmes.
Oh,
we watched stuff like that.
Yeah.
And but
I can totally see your dad getting into something like that.
Yeah, we would watch that. In fact, my dad one time was trying to create this this cultural night for my brother and me.
Yeah.
And so he played the most happy fella. The most happy fella. Yeah. It was the most happy fella. He's like, hey, I want you guys to listen to this, the most happy fella, and blah, 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 blah. And that either was a song, The Big Son of a Bitch in Tow, this woman sings an aria. I can't remember now. And my brother were like, oh my God, she swore, and totally lost the whole thing. And then when he played something else, and it was some other thing, and it was like, they go, come boys, let's all be gay boys. My brother like, oh my God, this is about gay people. And my dad's like, that's not what this is. So I think about stuff like that. So I think that, and we laugh. I mean, and my mom thought that was hilarious. And my dad was like, oh, I just was around funny people. My family was really funny. I was around funny people. I think I was just inspired by people that I didn't even realize inspired me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I did study privately. I studied art privately with a woman that was phenomenal. And I think she kept me, this was in junior high and high school, and I think she helped me stay focused.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She gave me this incentive. Like I was drawing nudes when I was she taught at UC, and I would go and draw nudes when I was in like junior high and high school. Mm-hmm. And so I had a different, like I was around these adults that thought differently.
And you had a different mindset at a younger age than most artists probably do.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I was a goofy freak too. Like I had a massive crush on Bobby Sherman. Do you even know
Bobby Sherman?
Get out of here. You know
who is Bobby Sherman?
You don't know who Bobby Sherman
is?
Oh my God, Bobby Sherman was a singer. But anyway, he had
Bobby
Sherman, David Cassidy.
Oh, well, see, there was my crush, David Cassidy.
David Cassidy, yeah. So, that I had that whole thing. I had, I had a Bobby Sherman watch. If I ever find that watch, I'll show it to you. We'll Google later. Yeah. But anyway, but they're like David Cassidy and, like things like that. But I'll tell you what, though, Shirley Jones she was David Cassidy's mom in real life, but she played his mom on The Partridge Family.
Yeah.
And the first time I saw her in Oklahoma, it was the movie, I was enthralled. And I thought, first of all, I thought she was beautiful. And second of all, I thought, you know what? I want to do that. I want to do that. My dad had like all these musicals, so I started listening to them all the time. Like I said, it's like these little things, like you don't realize how all these things are woven in and help you create who you are. Just, I can remember just being around people who, like, I used to think, God, this is what you do. You're not doing anything. Here's an example of how I didn't want to be somebody. I had a group of friends in high school. We used to go hang out in this back room in the art room, and they were great because they were really good influences. We all were artists, and we all sat around and talked and stuff. And there was this other girl that just took art just to get a grade, and I remembered she was going to have a baby. And we were all standing in line getting ready to leave. And her eyes weren't open all the way. And someone said to her, "Are you smoking? And you're having a baby?" And she goes, "No, I don't smoke when I'm pregnant." And she goes, "I just don't open my eyes up enough more than this because I don't feel like it."
What?
I know. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird how I remember that?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I can't believe I haven't even told you that until now. I just remember that. And I remember sitting there thinking to myself, oh my God, you're missing out on so much.
Yeah.
There's so much going on in this world,
Yeah.
Just was unbelievable. But when my brother and I just talk about this, when my brother and I were little kids, we used to do performances all the time.
Yeah.
We acted out every TV commercial we saw. We used to play church. We used to get these like little wafer cookies and peel the wafer off and go, play church. My brother would be the priest, and he'd go, "Body of Christ." Did I ever tell you this? He'd go, "Body of Christ." And I would be like the old Italian woman. I'd get like a doily and put it on my head like this old Italian woman.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if I'd grab like one of my mom's necklaces and pretend it was a rosary or whatever. And I'd get, "Amen." And I'd do the sign of the cross, and and I would like lean over to the right, like I was like old and decrepit, but I got to go home and make gnocchi.
Yeah.
I got to go home. I got to cook for 50 people, but.
And I gotta get my wafer.
Yeah, and then my brother would go, like, we don't even know what, we didn't even, it's just hilarious. And I'd be like, "Amen." And then we went to, my mom had this cedar chest. She might still have, no, I think she gave it to somebody. Give it away. But anyway, she had a cedar chest. Walked in her bedroom one day, and my brother and I were playing funeral. And I was the dead body. I could have been Kevin Costner in The Big Chill.
I don't know many kids.
Yeah, we played funeral. My brother was
funeral with their siblings.
Yeah, my brother was the priest, and he had this thing. I don't know. My mom, hey, I'm going to be 60. This is my magical birthday year, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I was born in 60. I'm going to be 60, so look out.
Cool.
It's going to be a freaking show. And I don't do a lot on my birthday. I don't care what happens.
Yeah.
This year's going to be something. So anyway, back then, women ironed clothes. Like, they did. It was like a thing. Like, you ironed.
It's exhausting.
I'm like, are you kidding me? If it's wrinkled, I'll wear my hair like this, unkempt, so it matches. So anyway, my mom had, women would have these bottles that had water in them. They'd shake them onto the clothes and they'd iron them. I'm going to bring you a little history into your life.
Yes.
Like, little Americana. Anyway, so they'd shake it and then iron. Get these crisp white shirts for their husbands. Crazy, crazy shit.
This is like the first time I wish I was filming my podcast so people could see you.
Because,
how animated you are when you do that. Especially
I even had that wine. I was so worried about having a glass of wine first that I'd be out of control. So anyway, my brother had that shaker thing, and I'm in the thing.
You're in the cedar chest?
In the cedar chest, yeah.
Playing
being the dead
Kevin
body.
Costner.
you know, and I'm trying not to move and stuff. And my brother's walking with this thing, shaking water at me. Because, you know, the priests, they do that. I don't even know what it is, that holy water.
Holy water.
I know.
Yeah.
Are you, you're not Catholic.
No.
I never really felt like I was Catholic. No offense to anybody who, it just is not my gig. But he's like splashing the water. I mean, I'm trying to stay still, but it's shocking me. It hit me. But yeah, and then, you know, so yeah, we were always like performing.
Yeah.
And, you know, and doing stuff. And, you know, even as a young kid, I mean, I used to write funky, weird poems. Like one I can remember, it was called The Nose Job. And it was called, it started out because my mom's like, these are brilliant. And I wish I could find them. I think they got destroyed. But the nose job that you had last year isn't working out, I fear. It fell off once, was put back on. I'm sure it's painful. I can tell. It's hard to eat what you can't smell. It was something like that. I was like, these are brilliant. I'm like,
I know a few women in Hollywood you could send that home to for Valentine's Day.
Oh my God. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that would be, wouldn't that be just a treat? Oh my, I should do a Valentine card like that.
You should.
That would be good. No one take that. That Lana and I came up with that idea. So anyway, I'm sorry. What was the question? Did you ask a question?
I did. And you answered it very well.
Okay.
So I have one special question that I'm going to get out of the way. Because I already know the answer.
Okay.
What quirks do you have?
What 50,000 quirks do I have?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I just left my husband upstairs in the condo cooking, and I said, you know, I wiped the counter off, just so you know. He goes, yeah, I know. And I'm like, I don't like sticky. I don't like sticky on my hands. I don't like sticky. And it's causing me to sweat right now. One time I was at the grocery store, my husband and I were at the grocery store, and I don't know what I did, but we were in another part of the store, and I picked up, like, maybe we were in the jelly area or honey or something. I don't know what it was. I don't even know. No, it wasn't even
sticky aisle. You were in the sticky aisle.
That was the thing. It wasn't a sticky aisle. And I touched a product, and it was sticky. Yeah. And Lauren said, where are you going? I said, to Fresh Produce. And he goes, I said, I'm going to wait for it to rain. And he goes, you can't wash your hands in that. We're having this discussion.
Watch me.
I said, I'm not washing my hands. I'm getting this off. And he goes, oh my God. And he just looked at me and goes, okay, well, I'll just wait here. And I'm like, okay. And so then one time we were checking out. This was back when I used to buy the orange juice and the frozen concentrate, whatever. And he's helping me unload the cart, and he hands me one of the orange juice things, and it had sticky on it. He handed it to me, and I took it, and he looked at me and he went, okay. And he took it back and put it on the counter. And he was looking. He went and got lettuce that we had that had water on it, and he handed it and poured it on my hands. So I could get that. And I was like, and it just the whole idea of that. I mean, just that just really.
What makes it even better is the fact that I know Lawrence, so I can see his facial expressions in my head.
Well, you know, and I know you had Brian Dobbins on here before, and he thought he was funny one time eating and having a piece of food on his pinky. Yeah. You know, I smack that shit off people's heads. I'm like, I can't not look at that. You know, it's just really, and it is kind of, it's annoying. Yeah. It's annoying for everyone, but oddly enough, though, the quirky side of that too is, as much as I love lotions and stuff, but I can't keep it on my hands. Yeah. That's a thing. But there's about 50 million more of those things, but that's
those
like
are the biggies.
That's a biggie.
That's the biggie, I think, for you.
Yeah, that's the one that that can make me have to walk in a different direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, are you a collector of anything?
I love elephants. Time out. Pause. Mm-hmm. Rewind. I love the community of elephants.
Gotcha.
I love to read stories of elephants. When you read about how they mourn the loss. I mean, I can sit and I'll cry with them, but I do. I love elephants. When I worked at the museum center, I made the mistake one time saying a group of people, I love elephants. I was putting up a display about elephants or something. We had an Omnimax thing. I'm plugging a lot of places in this city. So anyway, And all these people perked up and they looked at me and I said, I do not collect them.
Don't start buying them for my birthday.
Buy them. I don't want an elephant in a little wicker basket.
Yeah.
First of all, they don't do that. Yeah. And second of all, it's a little paper mache elephant in a wicker basket on a calico cushion. I said, I don't want that. I don't even buy elephant stamps. Okay, so I don't want anything elephants. But yeah, I love elephants. But I just recently, I don't treat myself typically. But I don't, like if I read a book, if I actually have a physical book, not an ebook or whatever, if I read a book, I will hand it off to somebody else to read. Because I don't want books sitting around. I don't dust, so... I don't dust, so why would I put books in my place?
Right.
I know I read it. I can talk about it, and if I can't remember that I read it, I'll Google that and get the gist, and I can remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, I did. I made a purchase. I do have a small collection of children's books, and I just purchased the one that I had when I was a kid. Caroline at the Ranch. Have I shown that to you?
No, but you told me about it.
It literally fell apart when I was a kid.
Yeah, you read it so much.
Oh my God. And again, that was, I think that story itself was like a precursor to the first children's book that I read.
Okay.
Time out, rewind. First children's book that I wrote, which was called Jessica Candy Cane.
Yeah.
So anyway, this was Caroline at the Ranch, and it is the most fabulous freaking. She gets to go to her uncle's ranch, and there's all these animals there. There's a little white cat, and I had a white cat named Whiteout, and she was a feline love machine. Actually, that was a couple years ago when I was like in my 40s or whatever, 30s and 40s. But she's since passed. But as a kid, I would go through and I would sit down, I would look at every one of those little animals, and I was like, I really personally need to have one of these each in my own little stuffed animal collection, but I had them in this book.
Right.
And I recently found it on Amazon. It can be, it's been like priced at $360
wow.
before.
Yeah.
I did not pay that much because but I sit and I just look at it, and it is in really good condition.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with whoever sold it. Really sold a gem.
Yeah.
And it is. I will go. I won't eat around it. That's one thing I won't do. I won't eat around it.
Okay.
I don't want anything happening to it.
Sure.
But these little animals in there. Oh my God! There's a black cat, and I have a black cat now, and so yeah. I do collect wonky stuff.
Yeah.
Wonky kind of odd things, but yeah, children's books, really different sort of children's books.
You have some little tiny animal figurines.
Oh
I've
my
noticed.
God,
yeah.
I love little tiny things.
Tiny guys.
That little porcupine. Have you seen that little porcupine? No, it's a beaver. So. It's not a porcupine. It's a beaver.
You have some on your windowsill in the studio.
Yeah,
area.
yeah. I have these little animals, and then you gave me that little Indian girl.
Yeah.
That sits
miniature Indian girl
next to the little white owl.
Yeah.
And the little red fox.
Yeah.
And they're like this beautiful
perfect.
Little group of friends. Yeah. And they're that little cabinet that Lawrence and I have, but it's really mine.
Yeah.
Lawrence, I think Lawrence has
one thing.
Lawrence has a button in there that fell off his shirt, and I'm like, if you ever, this is the buttons over. It's in here,
and it's been there ever since.
And that's how much space you get in there because you don't. So I have all this stuff.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
What hobbies do you have? Outside of acting and screenwriting and painting even? Because you're a serious painter.
Yeah. Or draw.
That's not really
artist.
Artist.
Yeah. I don't paint anymore, which is interesting.
Really?
But no,
okay.
I draw because I'm doing these such small little pieces. But yeah, like hobbies. I'll tell you what a hobby is of mine that I love fossils.
Yeah.
Yeah, brachiopod is my favorite fossil. I probably have, of all the 50 bazillion million things on planet Earth, I can probably tell you one of everything that is like my favorite. Like of fossils, I love brachiopods. They kind of look like a little spaceship.
Yeah.
I do. I would love to find a trilobite.
Okay.
I would love to find a trilobite. Yeah, and I like crystals, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I every once in a while, like if I feel like I can't, like I might want a necklace. I have a ton of like stuff, like beading stuff. I can make my own necklace, stuff like that.
Just have your mom make it for you.
I know. That's what. Take it down and give
See,
it to
there's
her.
creativity
There
right there
yeah.
from Mom. She just makes some beautiful
she makes
jewelry.
beautiful jewelry. If you ever want to pick out some beads, let me know. I have a ton of them, and she'll ever make some stuff. I love to bake.
Yeah.
I love to bake.
I've had the privilege of sampling quite a bit of that, so
yeah, and
you were good at it.
Yeah, I'm looking at making some more stuff. I'm really into. I found a recipe for a stout chocolate cake. It's made with a stout, so I think I'm going to try that.
What did you make recently that had bourbon in it? Was it the brownies? Wasn't it the brownies?
I made bourbon brownies.
Because those were phenomenal.
With coffee icing.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And then I made the bourbon chocolate chip cookies where you bit into the cookie and you ate it.
Yeah.
It tasted like a chocolate chip cookie. And then as you were swallowing that cookie, it's like you tasted the bourbon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the kind of stuff, like cooking shows. I like.
Yeah.
I'm into like food, doing the food.
You're a foodie.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a foodie.
But baking, fossils and baking, how does that connect?
That's so common together when people talk about it.
I'm slamming everything, my hand, and yeah. So yeah, I do. I love baking.
Yeah.
I would say.
Who is someone you would like to work with in the future? In whatever capacity. If you wanted to co-write something with someone, or you wanted to act with someone, or even direct with someone, because you do direct as well. That wasn't in the list of stuff. So
yeah. I mean, I do not claim to be a director like you or other people that do a lot of directing, but I am interested in directing. Yeah. I know I love Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
I love him. He's funny. He's edgy. But I'll tell you when I'll tell you what I loved about him was, and this is one of my fever films. When you get a fever, you're sick or whatever. You've Got Mail. He was in You've Got Mail. You've Got Mail. Or
Dave Chappelle is in You've Got Mail.
He was Tom Hanks' work buddy.
I don't even remember that.
That is how fabulous Dave Chappelle is.
Wow.
He's so fabulous that he can be this other person that you don't even look
realize
at. I wish people could see how I'm pointing at you. Lana's got a pen and she's pointed at me and I'm pointing my neck finger with Dave Chappelle. But no, I think he's like really phenomenal. Mm-hmm. I really, really love him. I'd love to do like a scene, even if it's just a short scene with Lily Tomlin.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's hilarious.
Yeah.
Be on a writing team with Chandra Rhimes. She wrote, she's from Scandal and Grey's Anatomy. And she's done other stuff. But I love her style. And I would like to like work with her. There's the beauty of it is there's so many people on the planet that I'm excited about. Honestly, the students that I teach, I'm writing shorts for them, and I'm excited to see what they're going to be like on set. Sure. See how they handle bringing a character to life on set. I mean, they're going to be little shorts, and some of them they're funny shorts. They're like, I'm writing them too, which is great. So, it's challenging me to think quickly. Yeah. And to go back and edit quickly and not like, because I have a time frame that I want to do this in. Sure. So it'll be fun I'm excited to work with these kids because they get excited about stuff and it's refreshing. Yeah. I mean, there's like so many people. There's people locally that I would like to work with. There's people that are like those dream people. You have those dream people. Oh, sure. You would like to work with. I would, just like to maybe just even sit down and have a cup of coffee. Yeah. Truly, Jerry Seinfeld. Oh, he used to come to Cincinnati. We'll ride around in my cube. We'll go have coffee. There's so many like fun coffee places around here that we can go. Go have coffee and talk. I think that he would have a different experience in a cube.
I think you would too.
Yeah. I mean, I would even let him drive my car. I would even take it and get it cleaned.
Oh, wow.
Wouldn't that be? Wouldn't that be? There's no sticking in there. No, but yeah, but I would. Yeah, I would love to. I like funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would play you in your life story?
She doesn't really look like me, but I really think like Reba McEntire could play me older at my, at my. Don't you think?
Sure. Yeah.
I looked like a cartoon character. I was named after a cartoon character, Nancy and Sluggo. That's because I looked like her when I was born.
Yeah.
God love my parents. I'm like, I said, why'd you name me Nancy? Mom was, well, Dad said you looked like Nancy from the comics. And I'm like, okay, can I name me like, I don't know, whatever. But I think I really am a comic strip character. Yeah. You know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, so that worked. I'll take it. And it was an easy name to spell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I always feel badly for kids who have this, like, name that they can't spell. Like, Anastasia. I love the name Anastasia. I think it's a beautiful name, but if my parents would have named me that.
What is a disappointment that still sticks with you?
I really look at everything as happened for the reason it was supposed to happen.
Sure.
Probably when, like, I said something to somebody, hurt their feelings, and I wasn't aware of it. To me, that's a disappointment.
Sure.
Because I don't want to be that kind of person.
Yeah.
Or even that I just got myself to the point where I was like in such a pissy mood, or I was so done with the situation that I just said something biting to someone without thinking about where they were coming from.
Yeah. I
think to me that's a disappointment that I find within myself.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be that person. Right. And I mean, I can be that person. And so I try to really, and I can think about various times in my life when I've done that. I don't regret like when I had to make a statement or be poignant about something. But I regret when I just said something that was like not nice. Yeah. And we all do that. We're all human.
Sure.
Here, I'll tell you what. This is a disappointment. And and interesting that it popped in my head again. It was when Lawrence and I lived in Clifton. We had an attic apartment, and I called it the Love Shack. Uh-huh. And I worked at the museum center. And I would take the same route to work every day. It took me like 10 minutes. It was quick. And as I was leaving, I was just leaving like the UC Hopple Street area. And I was going this side street, and it was like this deluge, right? I was behind this bus, and this bus pulled away, or the bus was moving, and I was right behind this bus, and I saw this young guy running up to the bus, and it's pouring rain, no umbrella, nothing. And I remember driving away, and I was like, wow, that sucks. And I kept driving, and I got to work, and I'm like, no, you know what? You suck. You should have stopped and picked that guy up. Yeah. I know that sounds weird. Like, he could have been whatever.
Serial killer. Yeah.
Right.
I get it.
Or he could have, had, a sticky bun and brought it in my car. Do you know what I mean? But it's beside the point. I remembered, and I think about that every once in a while. Yeah. And I think that was, I could have been a better person. I really could have been a better person. Because the way he was like, you could tell he was like, I'm already wet. I'll just wait, I could have at least seen, and I try to be everywhere like I have. I was early for work. It wasn't like I was late, and I think about stuff like that, and I think, that's just not, it's not nice. Yeah. And I can remember probably, I remember saying something really flip to my mom one time when I was a teenager. Yeah. Really flip. And it hurt her feelings, but my God, man, she let me have it. Yeah. She goes, I don't know who, and her index finger. But it resonated with me, and I'm like, you know what? I made my mom feel bad. Yeah. I made my mom come back at me. And that kind of thing. That to me, that's like a disappointment when you say, or I yelled at my dad about something one time. He said something, I was like, can you just stop saying stuff like that? And that was his opinion, and I just was like, and I was coming from a different place. Sure. Like, that was a disappointment. I yelled at my dad. Yeah. Yeah. Not, I've done it since then too. You know what I mean? I clearly have not learned my lesson, but I'm just saying, like, those to me, those are disappointing moments.
Yeah.
You know, like right before I decided to move back to Cincinnati from LA, it was like 2 days before I got a phone call from Second City, and they said I had auditioned there. And they said, hey, you know, we want you to come to Second City and whatever. And I'm like, yeah, that's really cool, but I'm leaving town.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that was it. It wasn't like they didn't want to hear anything else about it, and I didn't say anything else. And I remember it wasn't really a disappointment because I had already decided that I was leaving there. And I'm like, you know, opportunities are going to come up in my life. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, that wasn't a disappointment to me. That was like, that was a timing thing.
Yeah.
Disappointment is saying something that's like hurtful and you know, that to me, that's more
So you grew up in Cincinnati.
Yeah, we're from Pittsburgh originally. Grew up here mostly.
Right.
Moved here when I was 6.
And you've studied acting on the East Coast and the West Coast.
Yeah, I studied in Connecticut, and then I studied on the West Coast. I studied with more teachers on the West Coast than I studied with a TV commercial coach on the East Coast in Connecticut. And then I would go to auditions in the city and stuff.
Yeah.
That was always hard.
Yeah.
But just because, like, one time I got a call back for a soap opera, and I had to go back. I was like, oh, this is great. Oh, no, it's not. Because I was working.
Right.
And then I studied on the West Coast, too. I studied with Kip King, who was Chris Kattan's dad. Uh-huh. And he was amazing. He was, like, brilliant. Improv. It was improv. Yeah. I studied with Dorothy Lyman, who was on Mama's Family.
Yeah.
And she blew my mind.
She was brilliant.
Yeah. She blew my mind. She really drove home so many, like, great things in me. And she was probably the acting coach that really, she gave me carte blanche to emotion.
Yeah.
And she literally knew how to say something to me to get me to, because I was not a good crier for a long time. It just didn't make sense to me. I was always a pretty happy person.
Yeah.
Until I moved back to Cincinnati. No, I got really depressed and went to therapy. It was cool. It was the best thing I could have ever done.
I think everyone should go to therapy.
Oh, that is
everyone.
And that's what Dorothy said too. She goes, everyone should go to therapy. And I was like, yeah. I had thought about it, but I was like, yeah, I just don't, you know. So, but when I moved back to Cincinnati, I did. But no, she was the person that got me to understand how to get into emotion.
Yeah.
And
that's
to really
huge.
be able to pull that out. Yeah. And I credit her with that.
Yeah.
Because then I was able to like let myself, like I could find, like look inside myself and get myself to cry, get that control and understanding of how to bring that into a character.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think all those experiences that with the training that you've had, you are probably one of the most versatile actors in Cincinnati that I've ever worked with.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Because I think too many actors don't understand the importance of training. Mm-hmm. And you do. There's no price you can put on it.
You cannot put on it at all. I mean, because you're not teaching right now, so I'm not studying with you, and I have, which is again another person who is really good at pulling emotion out of people. And by emotion, I'm not just saying, you know, having people just weeping and crying. There's like emotion is just across the board, so many different things.
Right.
But I am taking those master classes, which it just keeps me into.
And any actor can take those.
Yeah.
Because that's online.
And
there's
online.
No reason for actors not to, at the very least, be doing that.
Right. And not even just the acting ones. I mean, I'm taking the writing ones.
Yep.
I'm really looking at taking the violin one.
Are you really?
Yeah, and I went on Amazon to see if I could buy a violin, and I'm like, I have a ukulele that I play, and I've created my own chords. But I thought maybe if I do the violin, and I'm like, crap, do I? And I'm like, I get the violin, get the a ukulele. I'm hoping they'll do a ukulele class. I'm going to hold off because I already have a ukulele.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, I think that, you know, however I can. And, you know, teaching is a great learning tool.
Which you do.
Yeah,
You do
which
teach.
I do teach.
Yeah, I love method acting.
Oh yeah, I do too.
How do you feel about method acting? I mean, I know you love it. How schooled are you at pulling your life experiences into all these characters?
It's something that, it takes a long time to work on that. I studied at NKU, studied theater and art there, and it started then, but it started to build. I think it got better, more intense, and it got better and stuff as I got older and studied more with different people. And, and you always say, study with different people.
Yep. Absolutely.
Has different things that they can teach you. And so, but I feel like I'm in a better place with method acting because although I appreciate the fact that, like Meryl Streep, when she was on set for Devil Wears Prada,
which you absolutely love that performance. I know you've referenced it so many times.
I pretend to do that, a character like that.
Yeah.
I'm not Miranda, and it's just, she's brilliant. But she said, when she met Anne Hathaway, she said to Anne Hathaway, "This is the nicest I will be to you during this shoot." And she could not let herself get close to people. She had to keep that.
Because that was her character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, with method, for me, I don't like to take it to that extreme. But I think that there are certain characters, and I truly feel like if I were to play a character like that, I would have to do that.
Yeah.
I would maybe have to take it to that intensity because I could see that. I mean, Emily Blunt, Stanley Tucci.
I love Stanley Tucci.
I love it. Do you know he's married to Emily Blunt's sister?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I think
they met.
I think he's extremely sexy.
I think he's hot. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I'm like, I love him.
Yeah. And you know me, I don't like the bald head guy.
No, I
know.
So
that's saying something for me.
Yeah, there's some, and I think too, I've seen him in so many things, and I just love him. I would, honestly, I could really stand to have him in one of the series that I'm
he would
creating.
be fantastic.
But yeah, I mean, I think that I would have to do something like that. I would have to, or at least, while we were on set, just have to stay away from people. Maybe after, not once you walk off set, if you're going to dinner or something like that or what have you. I could maybe do something a little less than, but I would. Yeah. I think I would have to with a character like that.
Yeah, and I think method means different things to different actors. Like you're referencing Meryl Streep saying this will be the nicest I'll be to you because she's totally immersed in the character.
Right.
And I think it also depends on the character and the way you are as an actor, how you're training, how you develop that character. I think some characters you have to go all in and be fully saturated in that role and not deviate from it. And then I think there are other characters you can be in where you can turn it off when they call wrap for the end of the day and you go to dinner with everybody and be yourself.
Yeah. And I think that's true. And I think that there are certain characters. There was a short film or a film I was in called Wildest Peach, and this woman was really kind of crazy and almost kind of submissive as well to this boyfriend or whatever. And I couldn't be that outside. I held on to it while I was on set. But I couldn't be that when I left. Yeah. When I got in my car and I was driving away, I was like...
Because Nancy as a person is too strong to be that 24/7.
Right. But it was great because I could be that. Because I had to be supernova crazy and supernova submissive.
If you had the opportunity to play your dream role in a film, what would it be?
I love character roles. I love playing characters. They're fun. They're challenging. But, I've said this before, and I think about it every once in a while. I think a challenging character would be to play someone who's kind of gender neutral as an older person. Because I think that when we think of gender neutral and stuff, I don't know why, but I always think of younger people. Yeah. And I don't know what that is. Sure. But I think just somebody that kind of is this gender neutral person, maybe play a man. I years ago, Julie Andrews did a film called Victor Victoria. Yeah. She played a woman playing a man playing a woman. And I always thought, dang, was so impressive. I would like to do something like that. Maybe, play something that is so not me. It just seems, because it seems so, different to me. I always think about how I'm always impressed with people who are gay that play straight characters.
Right.
And they do it flawlessly.
Right.
And people who are straight that play a gay character.
Right.
And they do it flawlessly. And I love that. I mean, I'm not saying that that's what I but I just want to play something that's so different than me. See what I could do with that. But I love characters, like, playing a funky character or something like that. I don't think I've really, I feel like that's kind of who I am, but that just kind of something different.
Yeah.
So extremely different. A mathematician. Mathematician.
We've come full circle.
A mathematician. Let me play a mathematician. No,
Yeah.
that would be
suck.
so hard.
That would
I
suck.
probably would avoid that. I would have to
Wait. I have to remember all those numbers in my dialogue. I'm going to have to pass on that.
If I had to repeat a phone number, like if I got a script and I had numbers, their phone number is, and the number is blah, blah, I would be like, 8675309. Do you remember that song?
I do.
That's the only reason why I can remember it, because it was a song.
Right. So what projects are you working on now?
Well, I'm still working on the randoms. I've got some things happening that aren't happening.
Tell us about the randoms.
So, which is, how can
Some
something
things that are happening
not
that aren't happening.
Like, I've moved forward, but have not heard anything.
That's like the story of every actor's life with film.
Yeah.
So I've got something happening that's not happening.
It's not happening. But I'll tell you about it when I can tell you about it, when it happens.
Yeah.
The randoms, I'm still working on, still constantly working on that. I've actually gone back in and reworked some of the episodes there, because I'm really preparing to have this hit.
So the randoms is a series.
Randoms is
for
a
anyone
series.
who doesn't know.
Thanks for randoms
Really
in my
back
head.
in
I
there.
know what it is in my head, so everybody else should. The randoms is a series.
They shot the pilot.
It's about a funky group of people that live in a town that are just I have a thing about the ripple effect. I love the ripple effect and how one thing affects so many people, and there's so much ripple effect in this town that everything is just happening. The town's called Dima, which Dima means rain cloud or rainstorm or whatever. So it's like this deluge of things, and then the characters are bizarro, quirky people who come out, who you think are just like really normal people, but they're all weird.
Everybody's got stuff.
Everybody's got stuff, man. Everybody's got stuff. Who doesn't have stuff?
Yeah.
You know what? It would be so boring if we didn't have stuff.
Absolutely.
Stuff is like what makes us interesting. Yeah. So all these characters, someone does die in this. So,
Ooh. That's a
I'm gonna-
spoiler. Spoiler alert! Spoiler
No, but you don't know
alert.
when. You don't know when. You don't know who. You don't know how it's going to happen.
It's not Sid, is it?
What? No. No, I will tell you that. It's not Sid. It's not Jess. But it's hilarious. No, it's not Sid. If you want to see the trailer for the randoms, you can look on my Facebook page. It might be on my Instagram page, but I don't know. Because I'm so weird about all that stuff. I did such a break from social media.
Do you have the trailer on your Vimeo? If not, she's gonna load it tonight. It'll be there by morning.
I'm gonna. I actually should put it on my IMDb.
Yeah, you should.
Okay, yeah. So I'll put it on my IMDb.
Pushkar with a K.
Yeah, Pushkar with a K. It's Pushkar with a K. There's a place in India called Pushkar, India, with a K. And then I'm working on another show, Dr. G and Mia. And that's an interesting show. It's pretty heavy. It's more dramatic, with some comedic tendencies, whereas the randoms is
more comedic with dramatic.
Yeah, and kind of like a mix. It's more of a mix. But Dr. G and Mia, Dr. G is a psych doctor who moves to a small town with her dog, Mia. Mm-hmm. And she's going to open a small practice, and then she ends up part-time as a school psychiatrist. It really deals a lot with mental illness, mental health, taking care of yourself, different aspects of things that happen, why things happen, how we react to things and events. And there are huge events that happen in this town. And there are things that have happened for a long time that people never knew they could talk about. And so all of a sudden this stuff is starting to evolve. And, we know people who are open to talking about things and people who aren't. Right. I mean, I talk all the time. I talk about everything, from like animal crackers to my favorite sweater. But I don't always reveal a lot of things. And so some people talk more, some people reveal things, some people, are like, we're tired of hearing about that. Why don't you go see Dr. G? You know what I mean?
Right,
because we can't help someone when they need help. So there's a lot to it. And the thing about both of these two series is they're very diverse. A lot of very diverse characters, people. It's like how my life is very diverse. There's all different types of people in my life. Right. The people in my life don't show up in these series, but characters are created based on people that, I meet and stuff at the grocery store. Go to the grocery store. The grocery store's fun. I take my dad to the grocery store and I like people watch. Sure. It's hilarious.
It's very inspiring there for characters.
Yeah. I would love to do something based on this little girl I saw at the grocery store who walked through. I felt like a voyeur in the store. This little girl she walked in the store and she immediately, I must have found something that she wanted, and she was content through the whole store. Yeah. I mean, that she didn't need to be in the cart. She walked and she had this little toy thing in her hand, and she had a conversation with it. I was like, oh my God, that could happen with anybody of any age. Right. But anyway, I digressed from the question. Yeah. And I'm working on some other stuff. I have a couple reality sort of based shows that I've told you about, but I'm not going to disclose anything yet because I'm really in the works on that. Yeah. That are pretty exciting, actually. Key people I would love to, to bring on board with that. But, funding's a big deal.
Absolutely.
So I haven't won the lottery yet. Yeah. That's the hardest part.
I think it's the hardest part. Yeah. I can create things all day long. You can create things all day long. Mm-hmm. It's finding the funding to make them happen. Right. And that's the difference between, like, when you create a series or a film and you write these things, as opposed to, and this is why I think I probably crave so much of this mixture in my life. I can sit and draw and I can create a piece of artwork and finish that and do it within, reason financially. Right. But, I know you're working on a lot of projects and you have some things going on and you're trying to get these projects off the ground, and I'm trying to do that. And funding is really critical because you have this stuff. Yeah. You have all these elements. Yeah. I have all these elements, and they're sitting there on the canvas of our imagination, of our keyboard, of all of these things, just waiting for something to come along that has dollar signs connected to it, Yeah. Whereas, like, the artwork that I do, I can create all my drawings and I can take photographs of them. I can put them out there. Mm-hmm. But this you can't put out there because there's so much more involved with that process. Yeah. Yeah. When you're creating a piece of artwork, it's you. You're the only person that you're beholden to finish it. Right. When you've got a series or you have a film, you have to hire a crew and you have to get all these great cast members. And I know we've all done it. This is a topic I think you and I have talked about quite a bit, is the no pay thing. And I think we all do it starting out, or we find someone we really love to work with. We say, yeah, I believe in what you're doing so much I will do it for no pay, or I do have that day open that I can come and do this. But in the big scheme of things, I know you like to pay people. I like to pay people, even if it's $25 a day.
Something.
It's something to compensate them for their time being there. Yeah, and I think that I think you end up with a better project at the end of the day, even if you have a small budget where you can pay people a little.
Right.
So.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, that's why I think funding is so important. Even for me going forward, even for you going forward. If you can't get funding, I'm not going anywhere with it. Right. Yeah.
And, you know, and I think that's okay to say that.
Absolutely.
You know, and I feel like I've invested for years in, you know, my acting. I've invested for years in my art, and I've invested to the point where I'm not going to just give someone a piece of my artwork. So I'm not going to give someone a piece of myself. And I don't expect other people to do that either. Yeah. You know, so, but the Randoms is such an amazing project for me that it is constantly on my mind. Yeah. Dr. G and Mia, constantly on my mind. Yeah. You know, these other two projects, constantly on my mind. Yeah. You know, I'm always thinking, okay, how am I going to connect with this? How am I going to make this work? Is it, you know, you're always like juggling all this stuff. Yeah. It's a great diversion if you're having like if you're tired of like the gray day and you know the sun's back there somewhere. Yeah. But you're like, oh my God, I don't think I can get up one more day and then see a gray sky. And then I'm like, you know what? But I got this and I have this and this little step took me that much closer. Right. Yeah. Every day I feel like I take I do one little thing on each project. Yep. As long as you're moving forward, that's all that matters. Right. Right. I'm constantly working on something. It's exhausting. Yeah. It's exhausting. It's emotionally exhausting. Yeah. I don't know if I ever told you this or not, but it was shortly after I met you. You had, you did your orb show. Oh, yeah. Your orb art show. And I remember walking in, I think I might have drugged Brian there with me. I can't remember. Brian was there. Yeah. Yeah, so I must have made him come with me. So I'm walking around and I'm looking at all of these great drawings of orbs, right? And it was colored pencil drawing, wasn't it? Oh, they're color pencil, fabric marker. Yeah. And they were all 12 by 12, is that right? No, they're like 5 by 5. They're small. I thought they were the frame's bigger. The frame's bigger. Yeah. Okay. So I'm walking around, I'm looking, and this one keeps catching my eye, and it's catching my eye and catching my eye. And I was like, no, wait, you haven't seen them all. Go see them all. So I'm walking around, and I keep coming back to this one. And I don't know if I ever told you how ironic it was and how cool, because the name of the piece was The Matriarch. And that was the name of a script that I have been working on since 2006. And I was like, I have to have this piece. And I have it hanging in my unit right now, my condo. So I thought that was very cool. It's weird. Yeah. Isn't it funny that how you connect with certain things and stuff like that. Yeah. You know, like I invested in my own projects. Yeah. But I think the fact that it didn't come, nothing's come easily. Does this make sense? Yeah. Even though we're frustrated. Yeah. You get frustrated. Yeah. On many levels too. Yeah. You get frustrated because you want to do something for these actors who have worked on your projects. Right. The crew that have worked on your projects. But you can't do anything because you get stymied because, you know, of the financial aspect of it or whatever. I feel like with the Randoms, I had to go back in and redo some things because if it would have happened really fast, it's going to happen. It's going to happen this year. Yeah. Because I'm putting it out in the universe. It's going to happen this year. That's not one of my best songs, but I'm just saying it. We'll take it. But, no, I think it would have not evolved correctly. Yeah. You know what I mean? It had to grow a certain way. Yeah. But now I'm ready for it to graduate. Yeah. And go to college and get out of college and like be what it is supposed to be. Get a real full-time job. Get your own apartment. Get your own apartment. Get your medical benefits. Go do your thing. Moving on. I'm tired of making an Easter basket for you every year, you know. Yeah. Time to grow up. You want this story to be told. Yeah. I want the story of the randoms to be told.
Yeah.
I want the story of Dr. G and Mia to be told,
Yeah.
And, I'm working other avenues. I'm looking for a literary agent now for my children's books and stuff. And I'm like, okay, so that's probably going to take another couple years. It's like there's just not, it just doesn't happen overnight. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough when, with the randoms, you know what's coming up in the next 5, 6, 7 episodes, right? Because this is your baby. And it's hard to go, if everybody knew what was coming up in the next 5, 6, 7 episodes, they would lose their mind. They'd be so addicted to the series.
They would be on it.
That they wouldn't be able to wait from week to week to watch it.
It would be it's a binge.
So it's hard being the only person who knows what's coming up.
Yeah. And it's really hard, like, when I'm approaching people, I can't tell them, like, this. There's a couple deep, dark secrets that just cannot be disclosed they just can't.
Yeah.
They cannot be disclosed. And so I have to have someone that's going to trust me.
Yeah. What I think is brilliant about the randoms is the fact that it's loosely scripted, but heavy on the improv.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Because it's like, here's your key points during this episode that you need to get across in dialogue, these 4 things. That's what I need you to do with your character as an actor. And then, hey, you over here, I need you to get across these 5 things at some point in interactions with this character and their 4 things.
And it has to happen to move it. And
it's brilliant.
Lana knows this because she plays Sid Marshall, the veterinarian.
And Sid doesn't die. How brilliant is that?
Sid is...
I can rest easy tonight.
Yeah. Sid's Jess, my character's, best friend. And, but, no, you're right. I mean, and I think that's, like, really... That's one of the things that makes it so special. And I think that's what, in the pilot, the actors did beautifully.
Yeah.
I was so impressed.
Yeah.
So impressed.
But, that's a credit to you as well, though. Because you did the casting for this.
Yeah.
And this is all your baby. You came up with this. I'm going to outline this. I'm going to let the actors go. These are the points you guys need to hit. And you need to do it within this amount of time to make it real. And it worked.
Yeah.
It worked.
No,
and
it did.
I don't know what the behind the scenes are on a lot of series that have existed in the past, but I don't know how many times this has really been done. Like for a series, has it? You know what I mean?
It has. And Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Okay.
Yeah. But and there have been other episodes where it was done or scenes within a scripted show.
Gotcha.
Where the scene was done like that. But I mean it was and then the crew, Paul, the cinematographer, and Frank, lighting and sound, Ben and Dave Zelina, who did the editing, which he took that jigsaw puzzle and put it together. So and Rhoda did makeup, but I mean all of these people made this happen, and it was just. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it just is. And there are some other characters that are coming in that I love them. I love them, and I want everyone to see them and to see what happens with this. And it's just there's some funny shit, and then there's some
tragic,
and there's some "Are you kidding me?" moments.
Yeah,
and I just want it to happen. So anybody out there that might want to see the final product of the 8 episodes, you can get a hold of me. Go on my IMDb and you get all my information. Get a hold of me. My phone number's on there. I'm like, call me. I'm not going to answer my phone, but
leave her a message.
Leave me a voicemail. Yeah. Anyway, but I'm not disclosing anything because I don't want to kill it. But but even with Dr. G and Mia too, again, that is just I'm excited about it.
Yeah. Now, Dr. G and Mia, I love this because it has so much room for growth, and it's therapeutic, and it's healing, and it's reaching out to people about things that aren't everyday subjects. That should be. People should be able to talk about these things.
Right.
And resolve, any issues that they're having with any of these things. And I love that that's being brought to the forefront in this series, and I think it's going to help, especially a lot of young people. I really think it's going to be beneficial to helping them heal.
Yeah.
So that's one that I really want to see picked up big time.
I do too. I mean, it's an awareness of life.
Yeah.
And how
that's
changes.
beautiful.
Yeah. It's an awareness of life, basically. That's what Dr. G and Mia is. And, and how 1 minute you're laughing and the next minute something happens. And then in that moment of tragedy, there is something that joyful that even happens.
Yeah.
And, just how people react to different scenarios and situations that happen in life. The music that I've chosen that is like budget busting.
Yeah.
Music.
Yeah.
I mean, totally budget busting music. I'm in the process of finding out how much it would cost to use this one song, and I'm like, I guess I won't be getting those little mini Hostess cherry pies I'm gonna not be buying any fun food for a while. There goes my Indian food
There goes your baking budget.
There's my baking budget. Lawrence and I aren't going to go over Indian food anymore. I'm going to start really scrimping because this one song is phenomenal. It's a Cat Stevens song.
Oh,
I think I'm
wow.
allowed to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a Cat Stevens song. I contacted them and they're yeah, you could, but we got to talk about whatever. And I'm like, okay. But I don't even know. I don't even know what possessed me to do that. But I thought, I have to have an idea. I'm trying to put this budget
Doesn't
together.
mean you're stuck to it. You're just asking.
I'm just asking.
Find out how much it would cost.
Because, maybe they'd be really cool about an independent project and say, we'll do this and you can still go
we
have
love
Indian
you.
food.
Go right ahead and just use it. Okay. Can you put that in writing?
Yeah. In the fantasy, in my head, that's what they said. That's what they said. In the fantasy, in my head.
That should be a theme song of yours. Right
Yeah, that
there.
should be I'm gonna be I'll wake up tomorrow morning. In the fantasy, in my head.
So in the fantasy in your head, what's a big future goal that you've set for yourself?
Someone to listen to me about these series.
Yeah.
That's my goal, really.
Okay.
Really, to just get someone to say, okay, you know what? Yeah. And get this interest in it.
Yeah.
Get the funding. Get that funding. I mean, part of that big goal too is if I can sell a couple of these children's stories, that money would go to these projects.
Yeah.
That is it. I mean, that's what I think about all the time.
Yeah.
I really do. I mean, I work 2 days a week, and when I'm at work, I'll people watch, and I'm like, oh my God, there's a character there.
Yeah.
I want to keep pushing for this because I know once I hit, then I can keep pushing these other projects.
Yeah. So if you could give any advice to anyone listening, what would it be?
Follow your gut.
That's a big one.
Follow your gut.
I don't think we do that enough. I think we see red flags. I think our gut goes crazy. And we rationalize ourselves out of why we're wrong.
Yep. I followed my gut yesterday, and I'll tell you about it later off.
Okay.
But no, I followed my gut yesterday, and I'm going to see what happens. And it was something in regards to the randoms.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I say follow your gut. And on so many levels.
We don't trust ourselves enough.
No. You know why? Because we are conditioned to not do that. We're conditioned to trust what other people tell us.
Yeah.
That was one of the things, too, that when I studied with Dorothy Lyman, that I realized that emotion thing, we are convinced as we are growing up that, you don't lose it on people.
Yeah.
Which you don't lose it on people.
Right.
You don't want to lose it on people.
Right.
But, you have to just maintain, don't get emotional, don't do this. When someone tells me, all right, calm down, okay, you know what? You
That's
just added fuel
thing.
you just poured gasoline right on top of this fire sign because you know what? Don't tell me to calm down. Say to me something like, boy, I just went off. But say to me something more to the effect of, get it out of your system.
Yeah.
And then I'm here to talk to you when you're ready. Mm-hmm. Because honestly, that'll calm me down quicker than calm down.
Yeah.
Because calm down is a big old flagging my middle finger up, and I don't do that.
Yeah.
I'll drop the F-bomb before I flag my finger, but I'll do that. But
Yeah.
that just makes me angry. But yeah, I say follow your gut, man, and don't be afraid to take a chance.
Yeah. So this is another foodie topic. This is my question I ask everyone. What is your favorite type of cake?
Oh, I'm always looking for the ultimate piece of chocolate cake. The ultimate. But it has to have the right ratio of icing, has to have the right ratio to cake. It has to have there is something. It doesn't always have to be a darker chocolate cake. It doesn't have to whatever type of chocolate it can be. Like, I'm looking at doing this like stout cake, chocolate cake.
Yeah.
That could be an ultimate piece of chocolate cake.
Yeah.
There are different criteria to the ultimate piece. The ultimate piece is just this beautiful version of this cake.
Yeah.
It can have ice cream on it as well, which it amps it up to supreme ultimate piece.
Yes, it does.
There's like different levels of. Then, like, if I'd have a bourbon with it, depending on what the cake is, that would supreme maximo to the ultimate piece of chocolate cake. There's so many levels. Or like a port, a really nice port, or a really good cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Really good coffee, rich coffee. Something like that would I'm just like, that's like, I'm about ready to take my tooth out and eat something. I have a fake tooth and I can't eat with it. That's why, for those of you who don't know that. So I have to take it out until I get my permanent fake. But anyway, I'm a cheesecake fanatic as well. But the ultimate piece of chocolate cake will turn my head, not even seeing Hugh Laurie walk. I don't know what I don't know.
Waiting for that name. I knew it was going to come up.
I could totally love to work with Hugh Laurie, but if I was walking down the street and I was walking down the street and there was a bakery and I'm approaching a bakery, and right as I approach this bakery, the ultimate piece of chocolate cake is in the window, and Hugh Laurie walked past me at the same. I don't know where I would look. Would I perhaps maybe take advantage of the fact that the window is reflective and I could see the cake and Hugh in the same place?
I have a solution for this for you.
I should just invite him out for cake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Laurie. Look at this ultimate chocolate cake.
Yeah.
Would you like to share a piece?
Do you drink bourbon? Because we could do ultimate piece of chocolate cake supreme to the maximum with ice cream on a la mode. So, but yeah, that would be good. Perhaps it would be kind of interesting if I would ever get to be in a film or a series with Hugh Laurie.
Yeah.
And it called for us to meet someplace and eat cake.
He would be great in the randoms.
He would be phenomenal in the randoms. He would do really well. The randoms, one of the things, honestly, that the randoms that I'm kind of been changing up with the randoms, just tweaking and adding, is these like random actor that would be in small.
Pop in and pop out.
You know how in Frasier, when he had people calling in, it was different. This would be just people coming because she has a coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee cakery.
Cakery.
Coffee house bakery.
Yeah.
So these people would show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
He would be great.
Yeah.
So where can people find your work if they want to look for you?
You can look on, let's see. You can look on my IMDb page. You can look on Facebook under Nancy Pushkar. You can also look under The Randoms or Crazy Cat Lady Productions. I'm in the process of, Lana Reed just put my sizzle reel together. It's phenomenal. That's on IMDb as well. And
it's on your Vimeo, right?
It's on Vimeo? No, Backstage. My Backstage.
Yeah.
Backstage. So the Lana put my sizzle together. It's fantastic. Thank you.
I'm glad you like it.
And then I'm in the process of getting my website together. So keep
NancyPushkar.com.
.com. Yeah.
With a K.
So with a K. NancyPushkar with a K.com. And Lana's actually helping me with that. Phenomenal again. Thank you so much
You're
because
very
I jacked
welcome.
it all up. Anyway, so but yeah, that's how you can find me there. And I mean, I have an Instagram and I have a
end cards,
and then I have a Twitter account as well. But I just, for whatever reason, I think sometimes when I got like hyper creative, and I wasn't doing a lot of social media, but I'm kind of getting back in the upswing. I will, however, I don't care what time I have to go to work in the morning, and I don't care what day. I do love birthdays. So I will get on Facebook and I will happy birthday whoever's birthday shows up, because I love birthdays. I sang happy birthday to the guy drawing my blood.
Did you?
So, yeah, he said, what's your birthday? And I told him, because they want to make sure they got the right person. And I said, I said, well, when's your birthday? And he goes, well, actually it's today. And I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? And he goes, no. And he goes, why did you ask? And I said, happy birthday to you. And he's like, no one ever sang happy birthday to me when I was drawing their blood.
Well, that's interesting.
I said,
now they have.
Really? I said, because no one probably ever asked you when your birthday was. He goes, no, they don't. I always ask other people.
Yeah.
And I said, there
you
go.
ask everyone.
I ask
when's
everyone.
your birthday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, part of that, I want to know birth signs too. But if it's someone's birthday, I'm singing.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you so much. This was
fun. My God, this is so good. I had fun. And I didn't even have cake. I'm going to have wine after. So it's like, I didn't want my teeth falling out. But anyway, so I'm going to have some wine afterwards. But thanks, Lana. This was fun.
Hey, you're very welcome. Awesome. Thank you guys for listening. And next week, I will have the beautiful and talented Miss Jessica Dunham on the show.
Oh my gosh, my face and neck still falls.
I know. She's so phenomenal, isn't she?
She is. And she's gentle. She's a gentle spirit.
I love Jess. She's
with a big heart.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Big thank you to Kevin MacLeod over at Incompetech for our super slick theme song, Jet Fueled Vixen. Big thank you to Michelle Lawson for our super quick and witty disclaimer.